What's up, you guys? James Strickland here. Welcome to another In the Rack with Swimhack. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. I know I am. So if you guys have not seen the latest video on the channel, I am doing an 8-week bench press challenge. If you guys want in on that, you got to act fast. I'm launching this video today, which is like Thursday. So you got until like Monday, which is June 20th. I'll let a couple people in after the June 20th cutoff, but I really want you guys to get in there and start with the group. We're gonna go through my 8-week bench press program together. So if you want some more information on that, just go back. I'll put a link in the description to the website, which will tell you all about the program. But it's very, very cheap. $39.99 for 8 weeks of basically one-on-one coaching with me. Not quite my one-on-one coaching, obviously, but we are gonna go through my 8-week bench program and I will show you everything that I can in that 8 weeks and help you guys out to actually work through that program. Anyways, so let's get into this week. So this week was not the best week in my training. Of course, that always happens, but I want to show you guys kind of what I did, how I dealt with it, and what I do when I'm having an off day. Obviously, if you saw the thumbnail, you know this wasn't a good week, but that's okay because a good week doesn't necessarily mean that you're hitting PRs. A good week can be that you basically went on, didn't get hurt, which obviously I'm unscathed, so I'm definitely feeling okay. I would have much rather hit a PR on reps, but it didn't happen. But anyways, if you guys are new to the channel, welcome. I'm James Strickland, my personal best bench press of 672 pounds. Currently working on doing a 700-pound bench press and a total of 2,200 or more, and that's raw, in sleeves, no equipment, anything like that. So if you guys are new, thank you for coming to the video. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I've got more videos like this coming. I've obviously got a slew of video archives that you can go back and look at all the different training methods I've done, all the different accomplishments I have, and I really appreciate you guys. The OGs that have been here for a long time, that have been subscribers, thank you. You guys make me who I am, make this channel what it is. If you guys are over on Instagram, of course, you can follow me there for day-to-day stuff, what I'm eating, things like that, at Swimhack. But let's go ahead and jump into this week's recap video. It's gonna be short and sweet. I didn't do a deadlift day. I'll explain that to you guys here in a little bit, but let's go ahead and jump in. All right, day one. It's gonna be bench and upper accessories. Of course, day one, that's all I had. But I'm gonna start off with my warm up here. 405, decided to go to Species Gym, great gym, good equipment. It's definitely not ghost equipment like I'm used to benching on at home, but I wanted to get out and kind of have a field trip. So the deal for today is 550 for 5. It's going to be just shy of my 5-rep PR, 555. So I'm warming up, getting warm, feeling good. It's hot in Houston. Today was like 105. When the humidity was probably 95. I mean, it was just absolutely brutal. This gym is a warehouse gym, so it's a little bit hotter than obviously my home gym. 495 blows up, no big deal. I did notice that there was a little bit of, I hit something, but I didn't really feel it too much, so I didn't know if it was something that I did or if it was somebody else. I heard the noise, I heard like a metal noise, but on this rep, you're actually gonna see exactly what was going on. If you notice, I have the pin set up, it's like number 3, I think it is. So this is gonna be my first kind of warm-up rep. Boom, and I hit. And I'm like, what the heck? So obviously I have the safety bars set up a little too high. I knew that right away. Obviously, sometimes the bar doesn't bend a lot with 405, maybe 500 plus. It starts to bend a little bit more. So I adjust these safeties to go down a notch. So I'm gonna adjust the other one. And basically that should be enough to do it because I barely hit it, and you know, I don't want it to, obviously I don't want to drop the safeties down completely and not have any at all, because I'm gonna, you know, if I have to bail, I'm not gonna be safe. So I'm gonna go, and this is gonna go for 5. I had my warm-up rep with the 550 for 1. I like to do just 1 to kind of feel the weight, and then I'm gonna go into my set of 5 here. I've got the pins set up what I think is correct. So boom. Let's go ahead and see how this set of 5 looks. Nope. Obviously didn't set it up low enough, and I'm trying to figure out what the problem is here. So I looked at it and I reset it. I'm going to show you a kind of a slow-mo here exactly what happened. And I stayed in control, went ahead and pressed it up. This is gonna be my third attempt, second attempt at 5, third rep of 550. And so I've set it up 1 pin lower again. I don't know about these pins where I just showed that slow-mo. I don't know about those yet. I showed that after the fact. So I hit it again and I went, you know what, I'm gonna go for my 5, and I hit it again and I'm like, this is crap. So I went ahead and set it down. By this time I'm spent, I'm irritated. You know, I go in and I'm trying to figure it all out. I ended up taking off the safeties and noticing I couldn't get the safeties any lower. So this is another problem that showed up. There's actually a screwdriver inside of the shaft where the safeties slide up and down, which was keeping it from going all the way down. That wasn't the initial problem, but that was the problem after the fact. So you notice here, I've taken out those metal pins completely. I've bottomed out the safeties, which I'm a little bit wary about because it's gonna be a little bit lower than I'd like if I have to bail on it. So I'm already in my head a little bit, smelling salts just to get my focus back. Here we go. I'm already 4 reps into 550. I'm gonna go for 5 here. I knew, I didn't hit the safeties, but I knew I was spent for the day. I'm hot, I'm done. I'm like, screw it, I'm not getting hurt. So, you know, the strength is there. It's just a shame that I didn't have the opportunity, it present itself to be able to go and hit that 5 rep. So I'm gonna go ahead and I know that my chest, because I'm literally having to not get full extension at the bottom of most of those reps, I feel like my chest needs some work for the day. So I'm gonna chalk it up as, you know, I didn't get anything on bench press, but I'm going to get my accessories in and get my work in. So I'm getting the dumbbells here, the 110s for some reps, just really getting a good stretch at the bottom and gonna work the muscles, even though I couldn't get my bench press sets in for the day. Obviously a little bit irritating, feeling a little bit defeated. No excuses, but I know that the safety pins were definitely keeping me from doing what I wanted to do. Gonna bump it up to the 150s. These are the highest dumbbells that I could find in this gym. They do have 160s, but they're a little bit weary to use, so I trusted these dumbbells a little bit more. And so by this time, I'd done a few sets with the 110s. I'm just kind of finishing it off with the 150s. My best is like, you know, 15 plus with these. Obviously, I've done the 200s for 15 reps, so that's not a problem, but this is enough to kind of tax that chest. Gonna do some rear delt flies here. This is not the heaviest I've ever been by far. This was literally only about 200 or so pounds. I've been upwards of 400 pounds on this particular machine, but my shoulders are a little bit achy at this point. I think it was just all that correcting on the bench press. Did a few sets of the rear delt fly. Gonna go with some pec flies here, and this is a great finisher for the chest. Really wanted to get some squeeze on here. I did notice later this evening, my pecs were just absolutely tight, and I felt like a great pump in there. So I did get some good workout from this particular day, but it wasn't obviously what I went in for. But sometimes you just have to, you know, fight the battle and lose it, and then win the war. So I left after some work on this day, and I felt great. I did want to get some triceps in, so I went ahead and did the full stack here. Obviously, you guys follow me for any length of time, you know my triceps are extremely strong. And so I went ahead and just did this to kind of pre-fatigue the triceps. I didn't feel like I got anything on the bench press. Using the GymPin here, this is a great tool for adding weight to a stack with plates. I'll put a link in the description. I do get a commission off that if you guys want to use that and get that from them. It's a great thing to have in your gym bag. Finishing up here with these triceps. Obviously, I'm just showing a couple sets of these. This is not all the sets that I've done. I've done quite a few, but just really hammering those triceps. Going to move on to an additional back exercise that I like to do, which obviously I don't have this at home, and a lot of gyms that I go to don't have this. So this is a great way to hit the upper back in a little bit different fashion, work on some weaknesses. This is 2 plates here. It's got a little bit of a pivot, so I'm not really sure exactly what the weight is, so we'll just go off a plate count. Gonna go 3 plates here. Just getting a really nice squeeze. Definitely felt like I could have gone super heavy on this, but I haven't done these in a while. It's a new exercise. I don't obviously want to hurt anything. Gonna go 4 plates as the top set on this exercise, and final exercise of the day and of the week, actually. And that is going to end it for the recap video. So nothing spectacular this week. Sometimes it's just, it's gonna be like that. But I do feel good. I don't feel like I'm banged up. I do feel like I'm getting to the point to where I'm gonna be hitting a max rep on 5s, because I've done 6s or 8s and 6s and now 5s. I think we're gonna probably top out around 5. I mean, even if we don't go any further, I'm still okay. It's not like I have to hit a PR all the way up to the pyramid. But I think 555 for 5 is something that I can definitely take down this training cycle in the next couple of weeks. We'll just see how things roll. Obviously, you don't want to get hurt in the process. Going for a rep of 5 doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to get a 1 rep later on. So they don't really have any bearing. It's just something that keeps me motivated, which I definitely recommend in your own training. If you're looking to kind of change things up, if you're kind of hitting the same rep range all the time, and you're not really working and progressing, or you're doing 1 reps all the time, it gets boring because you're not going to hit that 1 rep max every single time you go in. You have to back off and do sub-maximal weights. That's exactly what I try to show you guys in my training. Obviously, I do a little bit differently each training cycle just to kind of hit some different points. But if you go back, the last year or so, you'll see that I hit my 3 rep max. I hit a double max of 630. So I did 607 for 3, which was a PR. And then I did 636 for 2, which was a PR. Then I didn't hit my 1 rep max, obviously, so I'm still sitting at 672. So that doesn't necessarily mean because you're hitting PRs in your training that you're going to necessarily hit a 1 rep. It also doesn't mean that just because you hit a 1 rep that you had to hit PRs the other way around. So basically, I'm using this time in my training because I'm not training for 700 pounds tomorrow. I'm training for it down the road. So I'm looking to be excited when I go into the gym because that's what gets me into the gym. I need something. I understand how my mind works. You may not be the same, but if you're anything like me, I wake up and I want to be excited about something I'm doing that day. I want to be excited when I'm going into the gym, or else I'm not going to feel motivated to go in there. I mean, I'll drag my butt in the gym 10 times out of 10 and get the work done. But it's better for me if I can be excited about going into the gym. That's what I want to share with you guys. So I am definitely looking forward to the next gym session so I can go ahead and put all this stuff to bed and keep moving on. If you don't get it the next time you go into the gym, it's okay. It is okay. It's not going to happen every single time. In fact, most of the time, it's not going to happen. So put that in your little bag of tricks and remember that. Every time you go in the gym, most likely it's not going to be a horribly wonderful, successful day. It's just not. There's stuff that goes on in life. There's stresses, there's outside factors, there's sickness that you may not even feel. You may not have eaten correctly. If you eat out at restaurants or you eat at home, it doesn't matter. You might have something that was or was not in your food and you don't even know it. You may have had something in the water, may have been something in the air. There's a lot of factors that come into play here that you may not have control over, and we try to have control over. We try to have control over as much as we can. But with all that said, if you can look at your training cycle from point A to point Z, and it literally has somewhat of an upward slope to it, then you made progress. Now, if it's the same over the last 3 or 4 or 5 years and you literally just don't make any progress at all, you probably need to change something up. So with that said, take a look at how you've been progressing. And if you have not, is it something you can change that would affect that? If you don't think there's anything that you could possibly change, then obviously there's an issue. If you have been lazy, if you have been eating wrong, if you have not been sleeping right, if you've been doing drugs, smoking, drinking, whatever it is, and if it's negatively affecting your progress, then you know exactly what you need to do. If you have no clue, reach out. I will help you any way I can. Leave a comment. shoot me an email, swimhack@gmail.com. Reach out to your fellow lifters and let them know what's going on, because that's what the lifting community should be for, is just to answer questions and ask people stuff. Now, not everybody knows everything, including myself, but if you are stagnant and you're really truly wanting to get to the next level, it's simply a question away. You just don't know who to ask or what to ask. Sometimes that's where you need help. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap this recap video up. I appreciate you guys tuning in as always. If you liked the video, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you really, really like the video and you like the channel and you haven't already, please share, subscribe. Definitely follow me over on Instagram. I've got tons of content that I put over there. It's obviously a little bit more of the day-to-day stuff, what's going on immediately as I'm eating something, as I'm going somewhere, whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm thinking. I put a lot of stories up. In YouTube, I kind of plan out the videos a little bit more and try to tell a story because it's a little bit longer. But anyways, back to the 8-week bench challenge. If you guys want some information on it, go to my website, benchonly.com. It may not be there by the time you see this video. It's possible, because that challenge will probably have already started for some of you guys watching this, because obviously I don't take down these videos. But if you're interested in a challenge or a program, benchonly.com is my website. I sell t-shirts. That definitely 100% supports me. I also have an exciting announcement. I have an Amazon storefront. So if you guys do any shopping whatsoever on Amazon, it doesn't have to be for the stuff that's on my list. And go ahead and check it out. I'm gonna put a link in the description. I'll put a link on the bottom of the screen here, but it's amazon.com/shop/swimhack. And if you go there and you buy anything in the next 24 hours after clicking that link, doesn't matter if it's on the list or not, I'll get a small commission for that. It's a very small thing to do, but if you're gonna be using Amazon anyways, please just use that link, buy something. You're gonna spend the same amount you would have normally, and I get a commission. That's a good way to support the channel and support me without spending any extra money. So I really appreciate it if you guys would do that. I also have the supplements I use that I recommend. I use the fitness products that I use and recommend, and I'm actually gonna be doing a video on the ice plunge. If you guys are on Instagram, you know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna do a video on how I've made my ice plunge for recovery. So stay tuned for that. I'll put it up here, but I have all the products that I use in that ice plunge, except for a couple, and I'll put those links when I do that video in that description. But check that out. But I really appreciate you guys' support. Y'all have a wonderful week and stay tuned for next video. See ya.